We begin tonight with the political soap opera that has gripped the country's attention even before the presidential petition hearings begin. Now, a key figure of the Azimio la Umoja One coalition, Raphael Tuju, now claims that two IEBC commissioners, Professor Abdi Gulier and Boya Molu, visited his house seeking to strike a deal over the presidential election results. Without giving details of the discussion, Tuju threatened to release CCTV footage of the alleged visit. And the former Jubilee Secretary General also claims to have had a secret meeting with IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati at Chebukati's request. And as our senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi now details, the sentiments mirrored those of Azimio candidate Raila Odinga, who also spoke here in Nairobi earlier in the day.
The former Jubilee Secretary General called the news conference amid damning allegations against him by the IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati and two commissioners, Professor Mohamed Gulier and Boya Molu. Tuju, a key figure in Raila's campaigns, now claims Chebukati did not tell the country the whole truth about the Bomas meeting.
I'd like to start by admitting that I was at Bomas of Kenya several times, and the meeting which they say took place at 3 o'clock, I'd like to correct them a little bit. They are suffering from a bit of selective amnesia. It was at 4 a.m. Okay? And I did try on several occasions to get audience with the commissioners and get audience specifically with Commissioner Chebukati after it became apparent that Professor Gulier was not able to address the issues that I'd brought up with him. The issue I'd brought up with him was that I'd received intelligence from one of the IEBC officials who complained that some Form 34A were being brought down and they were being replaced by other Form 34A. He was not able to know exactly the location from which this was happening, but he brought it to me once, first time, and I reported this to the DCI, who dispatched officers to have an interview with this person.
Chebukati and the two commissioners had accused Tuju of being part of a government delegation that sought to force the IEBC chair to change the election results in favor of Raila.
I'd like to be able to state at this stage that Mr. Chebukati is not a stranger to me, Mr. Gulier is not a stranger to me, and Mr. Molu are not strangers to me. He has made claims of what I said when 10 of us were in that room. All the commissioners were in that room, and Mr. Amos Wako was in that room, and another lawyer, I don't know his name, Bonduo, whoever he is. So there are 10 of us in that room. For him to claim that I made some offers to him in front of those 10 is a tara diddle.
But Tuju says Chebukati has more questions to answer over his conduct during the period.
I want Mr. Chebukati to explain to me and to explain to Kenyans when he came to a secret location to meet with me, and what was that discussion about. At least he's talked about where 10 were. What was the discussion when he came to a secret location to see me in Karen?
In fact, Tuju now claims it is Commissioners Gulier and Molu who sought him seeking to strike a deal over the results.
I want Mr. Gulier, or Professor Gulier, and Mr. Molu to explain what they came to do in my house. What was that discussion about? And the drift of that discussion was more of auctioneers rather than commissioners. I want them to say they never came to my house. I will make the CCTV cameras available at my house so that those can be investigated by the DCI.
The Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga also slamming the IEBC chair over the alleged attempt to interfere with the results.
Kama mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi anaweza kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa. Nani alikuwa anataka kuhonga yeye? ni pesa ngapi? Na mbona haya kusema ati alikuwa anataka kuhongwa? Alisema yeye anataka si kupigwa. Sasa anasema ati anataka kunihonga mimi. Pesa ngapi? Wewe mwenyewe umeshindwa kufanya kazi yako, unajitoka pale, unaanza kujigamba ati wewe ulijua. Nani alijua?
In affidavits sworn in court, IEBC commissioners are outdoing one another in spewing damning allegations that could put the very future of the commission on the line. Odinga now says Chebukati should take responsibility for the chaos in the electoral body.
Mr. Chebukati, just stamping the other side with his 2 other commissioners, and then the other 4 commissioners this other side. It's a shame. Shame to democracy. Shame to the world. These are things that we don't want to see. There's what is called civilian coup. These people are trying to stage a civilian coup.
The revelations and those put forward by IEBC commissioners will form the basis for the Supreme Court battle, where Raila Odinga is seeking to have the election nullified and either have the court declare him winner after a recount or order a fresh election. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV.